I wrote my newest single, Her Name. I just had all this pent up emotion and all these things and titles and phrases that I wanted to put into a song, but I was waiting for that time, that moment. So I sat down at my desk and I just wrote out the lyrics. I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, and just wrote it out. I just vented onto my notebook. So that's essentially how I wrote the song. My producer Ryan Ainsworth and I ended up doing our first project together, which ironically, Her Name is one of those songs. And I just sat in his living room and I played it acoustically, and while I was playing it, he recorded it for kind of like a seriously scratched demo, so that way he could listen to it and then see what kind of ways we could produce it. And through that, we essentially just came up with a bunch of ideas. He came up with a bunch of synth sounds, kind of honed in on what kind of sound we were going for in general. And at the time, we were listening to a lot of Death Cab, so those guitar riffs that you hear in the instrumentals, those are very, in my opinion, Death Cab oriented. And then we took it to the studio. We did a bunch of pre-production on it. A really good friend of mine, Kyle Harris, ended up doing drums on it, and now he's my drummer. Really fantastic, light of my life. And then we did vocals in Boston. It was really cohesive, it was really smooth sailing. I think once we got the instrumentals and the overall vibe, it just took off. So that was really great. I think my favorite section of the song is probably either the guitar parts in between the chorus and the verse, or the siren-y sound. I call it the siren-y sound, but the synth sound coming in and out of the song itself, because I feel like there's like this impending emergency feeling that the listener feels, and that's exactly what the person in the song feels as well. Just like this state of emergence where it's like, I don't know anything else except for what I feel, and this is what I feel. The original thing that inspired the song was I once knew a couple that was married, and the husband of that couple was actively cheating on her, and he didn't know that she knew the whole time. And so when she was confiding in me, something that she said was, every single time he says her name, because she knew who it was, every single time he says her name, I die a little bit inside. And it was just very poignant. I felt convicted when she said it, even though it had nothing to do with me. It was just very clear and intense. And there's this concept of like the fact that she knew the whole time that he was cheating on her, but she still loved him so much, and she was willing to do anything it took to make sure that he wasn't going to love another woman, even though that's what was actively happening. It was really messed up. It was really complicated. There's this concept of when an animal really, really, really loves you, like say your dog or your cat, and has this like exorbitant affection for you and has no way to say it or show it except for killing another animal and bringing it to your feet. That's kind of like a big deal for animals in general. It's a huge expression of their affection for you. And for me, it's more of an idea of she's so desperate for his affection. She's so desperate to be seen and heard and understood and loved. She's willing to do literally anything, and she's just kind of like at the point where she has nothing left to lose. And so the cover art for Her Name was actually shot by a friend, Maria Ostrowski, who did this whole entire dead bird sequence, which I freaked out about right away. And we happened to choose one of her photos out of this series that she did. And in my mind, it's very synonymous to when an animal is so desperate for someone's affection, someone's love, someone's ownership, that they go out and they kill an animal and they put it at their feet. So that's essentially what she's doing in the song when she's talking about how two rights don't make a wrong, I know, and it's hard to let my system go despite all the shit you've done. I will still love you and I'll still be dedicated to you. So that's essentially what the song is about, is loving someone and being completely vulnerable to somebody who absolutely does not deserve it, but you can't help but love that person, despite all the judgment around you as well. Everybody's judging you and you still are just like, I can't help it, I love this person. Sometimes you can't choose who you love. Simple as that. So that's what Her Name is about. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and have a great one.
It's a slow motion, the steady hand that draws the line, the one you crossed with me behind. Our home is broken, and I can't seem to separate the lies, the truth, reality. You told the story, and I bought it 100 times. My pockets are empty, and my head is full of lies. He lied to my face inside, and he lies in my bed at night. Someone help me, 'cause I can't see the signs. I'm blind, can't see the steps he takes, and the method to the madness he creates. Oh God, help me. Every time he says her name, her name. Invitation opened. You're welcome to admit you're wrong, that your actions can hurt someone. But it's wishful thinking, 'cause you'll never admit to anything.